Go back to YouTube. Oh, it's not going yet?
No, it is. Wait,
No,
no.
it goes to red, huh? It'll probably say couldn't.
Guard slash forward, junior number 5, Rodney Vaca. At guard slash forward, senior number 10, Jermaine Baguio. At guard slash forward, senior number 22, Julius Bueno. At forward slash center, senior number 25, Patrick Gordon. And at guard, senior number 32, DJ Sabers. Head coach of the Sabers is Steven Vega. Good luck, guys. Now the starting lineup for your Warriors. At guard, 6'2", senior number 5, Kahekili
He's okay?
6'3", senior number 22. For the 6'3", senior number 34, Head coach of your Warriors is Agnes Peters III. Good luck, man.
Aloha and good evening, KS Kamehameha Schools Maui Warriors sports fans, particularly basketball fans. Welcome to Kamakakoa Broadcast, the Eye of the Warrior, Kauila Sports Electricity. My name is Kevin O'Brien. I'm going to be your host tonight. We are hosting 2 basketball games. First game will be the boys varsity game. The second game will be the girls varsity game. The opponent tonight is the Maui High Sabers. We are at Kahekili Gymnasium on the campus. We are at Kahekili because the school is preparing for Founders Day next week, Monday. So the high school gym is being set up for that already. We are underway in this game already. Before we get any further in this, I would like to say that this broadcast tonight is brought to you by Kamehameha Schools Maui. It is produced by Kamehameha Maui Haumana from the high school. We'll talk about those kids in a little bit. Here we are. We're underway. No score. We're in the first minute. Snitzer is bringing up the ball. Warriors are fresh off of a 3-game tournament on Oahu last weekend. I'll get into that a little bit. Here's Molitao on the block. He's working his way in. Nice move. He doesn't get it to fall. Chow is over the back. Out on Chow. It's going to be the Sabres ball. Vaca was boxing him out, keeping him from it. Warriors are running a little bit of a full court press here. Ducalo is the top man. Sabres coached by longtime coach Steven Vega. Warriors coached by Angus Peters III, one of the members of the very first graduating class here. Here's Bueno. Here's Vaca. Out of bounds. Sort of talked about last week when we were here for the Warriors hosted Lahaina Luna that the Warrior boys are very tall, very long, got a lot of long arms. They're very good at getting in the passing lanes. There's Bueno at the top. He seems to be running the offense. Sabres are not a tall team. That's Borden. That's Sabas. This is Vaca. That's Bagayo. Here we go. We have the drive. That's off. That was Bueno. Chow gets the rebound. He's out to Ayu across half court. Ayu's going to press it. Going to pull it back out to Ducalo. See what the Sabres can do here defensively. They're playing a little man action. Here's Snitzer into the lane. He passes it off to Molitao. Molitao saves it from going out of bounds to Chow. Chow's in the corner. He sees Ducalo down the line. Ducalo goes up, but it's blocked. That's Bueno that did that. Nice play. All right, here comes the Sabres. No press on that one by the Warriors. Here comes the Sabres across. This is Bagayo. Vaca. Vaca's on the left. Warriors are in a sort of a 3-2 zone. They've got Ducalo in the middle, Ayu up top. Here comes the Sabres. Vaca's going to get a shot. He passes it off, though. That's Bueno. He hits it. Did he hit it? Is that just my imagination? Borden of the Sabres gets called for the foul. That was not in. I had bad eyesight tonight. I need to work on that. Forgot my glasses, too. It's terrible. Here's Schnitzer bringing the ball up slowly. He's marked by Sabers. Sabers is a senior, listed as a guard. Schnitzer gives it up. Still no score. We're under 5 minutes. Here come the Sabers. Ayu marks Gaio. Gaio's quick. Sabers working around the back, down the line. That's a 2-point shot. Maybe we don't have, there we go, visitor 2. Okay, first score of the game. That was Borden, if I'm not mistaken. Here's Molitao trying to work it, kicks it out to Schnitzer. Schnitzer kicks it over to the right to Ayub, over to Chow, back to Ayub, turnover. A little choppy. Warriors are a little choppy. There's some wholesale changes. 3 subs in for the Sabers. Sabers, as I mentioned, are not a tall team. Looks like Patrick Borden, the senior, number 25, is about the tallest kid they've got. They're pretty quick, though, as you might expect. There's a quick pass in to the new member, number 14. That was Castro, but that's a turnover. Over to Schnitzer. Chow got the ball. Schnitzer's on the left side. Over to Duplo. He drops it into Molitao. Molitao is fouled. Foul's going to be called on Bueno. Julius Bueno, he's listed as a senior. I do not have heights listed on my roster for the Sabers. Schnitzer plays it into Molitao. He's going to drive. He's going to spin. Is he going to take it? He passes it off. It's like a travel. He's getting called for a travel. So the Warriors took a 3-game road trip to Oahu last weekend. If you were with us last week, Tuesday, the 6th of December, you heard me call a 55-40 victory over the Lahaina Luna Lunas. So last weekend, and it was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday trip, the guys missed school. The guys missed school on Thursday and Friday. Warriors played a 3-game stint on Oahu. Their first game was against Iolani. They lost that game by 11, 43-34. Their next game was Friday night, and they played a very good Maryknoll team. And Maryknoll handled our Warriors pretty handily. 62-32 was that final. But the Warriors bounced back on Saturday for their last game. They played the Kamehameha School's Hawaii campus team, and they won that game 44-38. Molitao is starting tonight. Molitao had 22 points in that KS Maui game. So that's why he's in there as a starter, I would guess. Well done by him. Molitao. Kamahiva Molitao is listed at 6'3". He's a junior. He's a world history student. He is out of the game right now. They just put in Kahoa Abreu, number 2. A 6'3" guy for a 6'3" guy. Warriors are sticking with this more like a 1-2-2 zone. Sometimes it looks like a 3-2 zone to me. We've got a with the exception of Schnitzer, got a tall lineup. Okay, they try to put it inside to Castro, but it's knocked out of bounds by the Warriors. Changes again for the Sabres. We're at 3:21 left in the first quarter, only 2 points in the game. That's Vaca went up. He got his own offensive rebound. They're going to reset. Here's Domingo, Ivan Domingo. He's an 11th grader, guard. This is Patihi. Domingo. That is also a 3-point shot. That's off the mark by Patihi. Had a little bit of a press there off the miss by the Sabres, but they knock it out of bounds. Warriors ball at the end. Sound is a little bit more augmented in Kahekili Gym compared to Ka'ulaheanui Okamoku Gymnasium. Not too big of a crowd yet. Still early. Hope none of the fans are going down to the high school gym. They're going to get sent to the middle school gym. Warriors call a timeout right here, trying to get themselves organized under the basket for the inbounds. Still 2-0, 2:57 The Warriors' 3-game stretch, they felt like they played really well against Iolani. Traditional power, of course, one of the great ILH programs in every sport. Maryknoll, basketball power. Very good basketball program. Did not play well, but finished strong with a victory over the sister campus on the Big Island. As I mentioned, the guys all missed school on Thursday and Friday. We're in the last week of school here at Kamehameha Maui. This game is on a Tuesday night. Last day of classes are Thursday. We have a Founders Day practice on Friday. Founders Day will be next Monday. Most of the state is done with school on Friday. We got one more day, half day for students, full day for teachers next week, Monday the 19th, which is traditional day of Founders Day. All right, here we go. 2:46 left in the first quarter. Schnitzer gets it across the middle line. They're trying to double team Schnitzer every time he brings it up. Sabers get into their man defense. Back to Schnitzer at the top. See if he drives. He's going to take a short shot in the lane. Short shot was short, but he's fouled. It's going to be a shooting foul. Yeah, Butihi got the foul. Schnitzer's going to get 2 shots. Let's see if he can tie it up here in a low-scoring affair. There's the Warriors' first point on Schnitzer's free throw. All right, 2 for 2. We're tied up. Okay, here's that press by the Warriors, sort of a light press. Imai Kramer's in. IU causes the steal. Schnitzer picks it up, goes up for a shot, but it is taken out of his hands by Domingo. Domingo presses, thought about taking a 3-point shot. Going to back it up, run their offense. Atuhi, Domingo. Got Borden back in the game. Vaca's in the game. Vaca's got the ball. Looking for Borden right there. Warriors still in their zone. IU almost gets the steal. But Warriors get the call. Called out on Butihi. Warriors going to take the sidelines play at midcourt, right in front of the scorer's table. Right in front of Alvin Kamatani. Going to move it down here a little bit further. The students have 2 cameras going tonight. As you can see, we're splitting between 2 camera angles. We got one at midcourt. We got one down here where the Warriors are on offense, behind the Sabers bench. There's Kramer. Kramer makes a nice pass. Kramer drove to the inside, made a nice pass to Molitao. Molitao hesitated. The Saber defender went. The Saber defender went over him. Molitao made a nice layup play. Referee has called timeout to clean some condensation on the floor as the Saber player, there was a Saber player, I believe, on the ground. Warriors have the lead, 4-2. We're almost at the end here of the first quarter. Not too much, nothing eventful. Both teams have sort of played the exact, stuck with their strategy all the way through the first quarter. Sabres are across the line. That should be a foul on Schnitzer. Schnitzer takes out Sabas. Here's going to be Domingo making the inbounds play. Out to Sabas. Okay, let's see him run their offense. Borden, as I mentioned, is about the tallest kid that the Sabres have in there. They're on the back line. We're going to have another, let's see what we're going to call here. Looks like it's going to be another. It's going to be another foul on the Warriors. It's going to be on Imai Kramer. Imai's a sophomore. Imai plays football. He's a defensive player. Here's Domingo on the back line. Out to Bagayo. Reset, we're under minute 15. Have a couple of changes in. Another change in for the Warriors. Gardner is in. Cody Gardner. He's a 6'4" sophomore. Lanky, skinny. They don't have weights on for the Warriors on this roster. It'll be very interesting to see what some of the weights of these guys are. Here's IU at the top. Into Molitao. Molitao looks to go inside. He kicks it out to Kramer. He kicks it inside to Ducalo. Ducalo goes up for the shot. Too hard. Molitao there for the rebound. Nice play by Molitao. 6'2" Warriors. Good play all around. Good movement by the Warriors. They've got their semi-press going. Here we go. Here's Domingo. Nice shot by Bueno. Julius Bueno is a senior. Number 22. Nice smooth shot. Here comes IU up the court. The Sabres are all juniors and seniors on their roster except one guy. We've got one ninth grader on the team. Sabres make a steal at midcourt, and they convert. We're under 10 seconds. Let's see if this Warriors can get a shot off. Here's Ducalo. Should be in time, but it's long. All right, we're going to stay right here with a 6-6 tie. Had a little bit of running on both sides there at the end of the quarter. But it appeared both teams stuck to their game plans. Sabres were in a man-to-man defense. They came back and played half-court defense. Their offense, they tried to work the baseline to get some shots. Shots were difficult to come by. Warriors played that, what I'm going to call a 3-2 zone at their end. Use their length and their size. Keep the Warriors, keep the Sabres from getting any shots off. And they tried to work it down inside as much as possible. Molitao had 4 of the 6 points. Other 2 points for the Warriors were Schnitzer's free throws. Here's a game for you all to play in the 2 broadcasts if you would like. What is the possible over-under for how many times I say Schnitzer tonight? And, of course, if you think about it, I'm going to say Schnitzer quite a bit in the boys' game. And, of course, I will say Schnitzer a whole bunch of times in the girls' game because Dylan's little sister, Taylor, is a freshman on the girls' team. She plays quite a bit. So let's see. What's the over-under on how many times I say Schnitzer? 60 or 70? Let's say 70 times, I bet. Right around 70. So that's a game you all can play at home. How many times will I say the last name of those two? Haumana. How does that sound? All right. Just a note while we're in play here in the second quarter. Just a note. When the boys' game ends, we will cut the feed and we will start a new broadcast right afterwards for the girls' game. So there'll be 2 separate broadcasts in essence, even though there'll be one right after the other. We're not going to stay with you through both. Okay? It'll be 2 broadcasts, not 1. All right, here we go. 7.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Sabres have it in their offensive zone. They're on the back line trying to make a inbounds play. Warriors have knocked it out of bounds twice, again using their length. Trying to make a nice play, a called play. Bueno, good pass in there to Bueno. He was unable to convert, however. Nice play, I thought. All right, so here's Ducalo out to Schnitzer. Molitao wants it. He got it. They collapsed on him. Here's Schnitzer into Ducalo. Nice defense. Nice defense by Bueno. Bueno's busy on Ducalo. Borden, however, is called in the scrum for the rebound with Gardner. They're going to give Gardner 2 shots, I believe. 2 shots. Here we go. Nice stroke. Nice stroke by Cody right there. Warriors up 7-6. It's a 5th team foul on the Sabers. Warriors have 4 fouls. Foul shots, foul bonuses are not going to be an issue yet. We'll see what happens as this goes along. Nice 2 shots by Cody. All right, here's the press. Get Gardner up there at the top. He and Kramer, the sophomores. Chow's back out there. All right, that was Gallo. He got in a little bit of trouble amongst the trees. Tried to get it out to Domingo. Domingo was unable to save it. Turnover Sabers. Warriors ball 8-6. Kramer makes the inbound to Schnitzer. Here he comes across the middle line. Domingo marks him. Over to Kramer again. Molitao wants the ball, and he gets down there. He wants it every time now. He's feeling good. He gets a shot off. Nice play. Went up sort of sideways, but still had it in his right hand. Was able to make his shot. Count it, I believe. 1 shot, they're counting that. Chance for a 3-point play. Nice play by Kamahiva. Molitao is obviously feeling good. He feeling confident. Obviously feeling confident after his big weekend. Good for him. You can see every time Warriors get into their offensive zone, Molitao is calling for the ball on the blocks down low. Okay, good shot. He makes a 3-point play. 11-6 Warriors. It's the first significant lead of the Warriors for the Warriors of the night. Here's the continued press. Vaca back out to Bogoyo. That's out to Butuhi. Let's see, Butihi, excuse me. Butihi again. Nice play. Butihi again into Bueno. Bueno's unable to make the shot. That was a nice play. Sort of a give and go, a long give and go. Here's Kramer. Chow wants it. Back out to the top. And Cody Gardner. Over to Schnitzer. Into Molitao again. Out to Schnitzer. Schnitzer goes up the line. Turnover. That's Vaca who got the play. Chow knocks it out. Sabers ball. Ayu is back in for the Warriors. He takes out Kramer. I thought last week, Tuesday, against the Lunas, that Pokela Ayu played as good of a game as I've seen him play in his career. Thought he played really a terrific game, both sides of the floor. Assists, did a great job. So let's see how he matches that up. Another turnover by the Sabers. Getting a little bit sloppy, kind of both sides, having some turnovers here. See a lot of bounce passes being done by the Sabers. Very smart strategy against a taller team. One thing I've noticed. Okay. Sabers still in there man-to-man. Here's Ayu into Molitao. Molitao muscles the guy. He gets called for the charge. Borden takes the charge. Molitao's, I believe, his first foul. Borden, nicely done. Here's Borden with the ball. Domingo. Borden, here we go, over across to Castro. Castro inside to Vaca. Vaca puts up sort of a hook shot. Domingo ends up with it down there. Domingo sort of the shortest guy in the court right now, and the ball was on the ground. He had the best access to it. Here's Domingo over to Vaca, over to Borden. There's Ayu with the steal. He kind of gets run over. They're going to call that on Butihi. Let's see, we're in the 1-and-1. All right, nice play by you. 11-6 Warriors. We're under 5 minutes left in the first quarter. The second quarter. These Warriors all have good foul shooting technique. They all look alike. They all seem to be coached in the same fashion on how to shoot foul shots. They all look alike when they do it. Here's his second shot. That's going to be short. Castro gets the rebound. Chow gets in the pass lane. Coach Vega is always up. He's traditionally a walker on the sidelines. Nice play. Nice play, Sabers. Inbounds to Borden. Borden had position on Chow, was able to make the layup. Here's Schnitzer. That was an example of the advantage of height. There's another one, length. Schnitzer, a lot going on. I'm not able to keep up. It's happening so fast. Let's see if I can sort of describe what was going on here. Okay, after all that, let's just get to the most present thing. Schnitzer is called for a foul. It's 14-8 Warriors. Molitao had a steal in the defensive end. Got it up to Schnitzer, but they were unable to convert. All right, here we go. Borden and Domingo bring it up. Into Vaca, it's off his foot. But Chow gets it over to Ducalo. Borden tried to take the charge, but Ducalo was able to make a nice, smooth layup on the left side. Nice play by Nahale. Nahale is a senior. He's listed at 6'3". 16-8 Warriors. Got some wholesale changes again by the Sabers. They like to change numerous guys at a time. Ducalo gets his one shot. It's a little bit long. Molitao's not able to get it. Here comes Sabas down the left side. Out to Domingo. That's Castro with the ball. Back to Domingo at the top. They're looking for a play. Going to run play 2. Warriors still in their zone. They're trying to work the middle. They get a shot off. 14 is in there battling. That's Castro. Castro's able to get in there amongst the trees and get a rebound. Bueno had a three-point shot. In and out. Here's the Warriors coming up the court. They're in the zone. Here's Schnitzer. Inside to Molitao. Off the board too much. Chow gets the offensive rebound. He gets another offensive rebound. Gets a third offensive rebound, but they're going to call a foul on that. Chow's a worker under there. We've sort of noticed that last week against the Lunas. Chow will go in there and battle, but he's going to get called. 2 legitimate offensive rebounds, unable to convert, and then the third one he got the call. Sabers are now in the 1-1, so suddenly fouls are taking an issue. Both teams will be shooting for the rest of the half. 3:20 left. Warriors doubling up the Sabres 16-8. Don't forget we have girls varsity basketball right after this game. Will be a different broadcast. We'll check out on this one and check back in for that one. Here's Domingo on the line. He makes his first shot. Domingo makes his second shot. All right, here we sort of see the first time the Sabres really sort of in a demanding press. Okay, Domingo marked Ayu up the court. Ayu on Domingo, that's a mismatch. Here's inside to Molitao. He's unable to make a connect. He got the offensive rebound, was unable to connect that one. Kramer gets it. Here's Molitao. He looked like his shot was blocked. Ducalo gets the rebound. He's fighting underneath. He got stolen. Here's Kramer. Warriors are missing their shots. They're getting the rebounds, but it's going to be out on the Sabers on Castro. Good battling by both teams on that one. Height advantage of the Warriors was working in their favor, but they were unable to make something go through the iron. Here's Kramer. He's working it to IU. IU's going up for layup. Found the open space on the right side. Good play by IU. Here's the Sabers across the line. They look like they're going to get a three-point shot right here. It's a little short. It bounces off the top. That was Castro, Jazz Castro. He's listed as a senior. Still listed at 18-10. Here's Kramer with the ball. Here's Ducalo at the top. Into Chow. Chow wants it. He goes up. He's unable to make a play. Nice play by Bagayo. Nice block out with the rebound. Here's Domingo. Domingo looked to the center. Brought it back out, but he's called for travel, basically. Here's Gardner in for Chow. IU, Kramer, Gardner, Molitao, Ducalo. Kramer's been doing a lot of the bringing the ball up tonight. A little bit more than we saw last week. There's IU. Over to Ducalo. There's Gardner. They keep Gardner at the top, even though he's a tall guy. He gives up the dribble. Sabers come out with it. There's Domingo. Let's see what he does. Is he going to go in there? Goes against Kramer. Kramer altered his shot. Warriors ball. Sabres are going to press. We're at 1:39 left in the second quarter, 18-10. Here's IU. They try to trap him. Warriors break. Here's Kramer. He's going down the middle. Into Molitao. Molitao got it. Felt like he was getting fouled, so put up the shot to try to get a two-point shot. Looks like that's what he got. Well done, Molitao. A minute 30 left. Molitao shooting two. Sabres have only been able to put up 10 points in the first half. That one's a little long. Two new subs come in. That's Vaca and Butihi. Rodney Vaca, listed as a junior. Jaron Butihi, he's listed as a senior. Molitao makes the second, 19-10. Vaca. Here they come. Let's see, they got the play. Good play by Castro. Castro going under the basket, laid it up on the right side. He came from the left. Molitao, good defense, but Castro made a very good play. That's going to be a travel call on Ducalo at midcourt. 19-12 with a minute 9 left.
Timeout, Sabres. 30-second timeout.
Got a timeout on the court. This is going to be a short one. 30-second timeout. Sabres have been a little bit more willing to run and press the issue and try to get to the hoop in the second quarter more so than the first quarter, I feel like. Feeling a little more confident. 19-12 is the score. Sabres have picked up the pace. They're particularly liking to attack the back line. See if they can make plays back there. And they seem content to try to make some layups against a taller team. Very interesting. Sabres strike me as everybody can run, everybody can dribble. It's a very athletic team. All right, here's Domingo. Ivan Domingo. He's listed as a junior. Here's Castro. Under a minute. Domingo Magallo. He goes down the middle. He kicks it out to Vaca. Ayu caused a turnover. Molitao delivered to Ayu. Ayu's going to go to the hoop. Blocking foul called on Castro. I'm going to call Jazz Castro, trying to get the charge. Nice play by Ayu in general. Caused the turnover. Ball went to Molitao. Molitao sent it right back out to Ayu. It's 10th. We're over 10 fouls. We're in the bonus now, all the way around. This is definitely a two-shot foul, though. Let's see what Po'okela can do here. He makes the first one, 20-12. We're under 40 seconds. Here's a Brew back in the game. He makes both shots. 21-12. Clock's running. Warriors are working them, making them work to get across. Here they are across. Inside to Bagallo. He's unable to control it. Here's Kramer into a Brew. A Brew came up the left side, almost a 2-on-1. Kramer gave it up for the assist. Nice play of Brew. We're under 20 seconds. Warriors are still forcing the issue. Sabres get across. Let's see if they can get a shot. Here's Domingo. That went off a Brew. Domingo's got to reset. We're under 10. Let's see. They're going to get the shot off. And they got it. Nice job. Way to battle. That was Castro. Good work by Castro. Castro, I thought, was going to kick it out to his left for a three-point shot, but he went to the rim and made the shot. We are at halftime. Halftime score. Kamehameha Maui Warriors 23. Maui High Sabres 14. Are we going to stay here or are we going to take a break? We're going to stay here. We're going to take a break. All right, everyone, thank you for joining us. I am Kevin O'Brien. Thank you for being here for Kauila Sports. We will be back shortly with the second half, Warriors Sabres. See you soon.
The leadership of this year's senior class, the girls' soccer team, is poised at a run for the MIL championship. Aloha Warriors, this is Samantha Abernathy reporting for Kamakakoa. Let's take a look at this year's girls' varsity soccer season. I spoke with one of our coaches, Coach Cody, and got his thoughts and goals for the season.
So the goals for the team this year are to develop everyone on and off the field as student athletes, get seeded to states, and then hopefully finish the top 3 at states.
How does the girls' soccer team look this season?
There's a lot of good talent. I can say that we have a very deep bench with a lot of good individuals. The camaraderie is high, as well as the morale, which is always good to see. And we're excited to see everyone play this year.
Who are the players we need to watch this season?
I wouldn't say what players to watch. I would say that there's characteristics that we'll look for in all the players, whether being good leaders on the field, leading by example, and being able to keep everyone accountable.
I spoke with varsity player Kaylani Warner and got her thoughts and goals for the season.
Okay, so my personal goals this season is to make the MIL All-Star team, and my goals for the team is to make it to states at least and to win.
How does the girls' soccer team look this season?
The team looks really good this year. We have a lot of girls. Unfortunately, we have to cut some, but that just makes it more competitive for us, and it's going to be really fun.
Who are the players we need to watch this season?
So the players to watch this year, I guess, would be like all the seniors, support my girls, Papa Go. Anyway, also, most importantly, gotta watch Leilani Gates in the goal this year. Killa.
I'm excited to see how this season will play out. Good luck to all the girls. Hopefully you guys can come and support throughout the season. Their first game will be on November 30th. This is Samantha Abernathy for Kamakakoa.
Nowadays, everybody travels in cars and airplanes. But have you ever wondered how our kupuna traveled? Aloha Warriors, my name is Tyler Cambra, and let's take a look at this year's paddling season.
Marjorie Kaho'okelepea, retired police officer, casual security officer at Kamehameha and paddling coach. I'm looking forward this season, this school year, to working with all the new kids, keeping them busy, teaching them the culture, the sport, the camaraderie of canoe paddling, outrigger canoe paddling. And how I think we'll do this year, it's from looking at the kids, there's a lot of potential. It's going to be a really exciting year, and I'm super stoked to see all these numbers.
I'm looking forward to all the new paddlers on JV, and I think this season's going to be really good.
I'm looking forward to winning and getting stronger. I'm looking forward to paddling with my boys.
I'm looking forward to paddling with my boys and also getting stronger.
Looking forward to winning. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited for our new cruise, and I think Varsity is going to do good this year.
I'm excited to get back out in the water, and I'm also excited for all the new kids.
Oh, sorry. This preview got me excited for this paddling season. But are you? My name is Tyler, reporting for Kamakakua. Peace out.
Welcome back to Kahekili Gymnasium on the campus of Kamehameha Schools, Maui. We're at the middle school tonight. We are watching boys varsity MIL basketball. Tonight we are watching the Kamehameha Maui boys host the Maui High Sabers. We have a halftime score of 23-14 in favor of the Warriors. We are under a minute before the third quarter is about to start. It's been a very interesting first half. The high scores was 6-6 at the end of the first quarter. Then a very uneventful first quarter. And then the teams got going a little bit, scoring in the second quarter. As I mentioned, the Warriors have a 9-point lead. Leading scorer, 7 minutes into the second quarter, Sabers scored 24 points. 7 minutes into the second quarter, Warriors scored 24 points. 7 minutes into the second quarter, Sabers scored 24 points. 7 minutes into the second quarter, Warriors scored 24 points. 7 minutes into the second quarter, Sabers scored 24 points. 7 minutes into the second quarter, Warriors scored 24 points. 7 minutes into the second quarter, Sabers scored 24 points. 7 minutes into the second quarter, Warriors scored 24 points. 7 minutes into the second quarter, Sabers scored 24 points. 7 minutes into the second quarter, Warriors scored 24 points. 7 minutes into the second quarter, Sabers scored 24 points. 7 minutes into the second quarter, Warriors scored 24 points. 7 minutes into the second quarter, Sabers scored 24 points. 7 minutes into the second quarter, Warriors sco in the first half for the Maui High Sabers was Julius Bueno. He had 6 points. Leading scorer tonight so far for the Warriors in the first half was Kamahiva Molitao. He's got 8 points. Po'okela Ayu has 4 points. We're about ready to start the second half. We're glad you can be with us. After this broadcast is over, we will take a short break, and then we'll come back with another broadcast, and we're going to do the girls' varsity game. Same 2 teams, Warriors hosting Sabers. We are at the middle school gym as the school is getting ready for traditional Founders Day on December 19th. That happens it's a K through 12 operation that happens in the high school gym. We're in the Warriors' end into Molitao. Molitao, as I mentioned in the first half, he's really wanted the ball. He's off the mark right there, but Duclo's in the offensive rebound, almost gets the shot to fall. Molitao's calling for the ball down low every single time. Goes up strong every time. Nahali Duclo is going to get a 2-point, 2-shot opportunity here. We've switched ends. Warriors are going towards the Kula end. Sabres are going towards the Makawao end. Both girls' teams are already in the house. Duclo makes the first shot. A little long on the second one, but he's going to get the roll. All right. Here comes Borden. Warriors are sticking with their plan, sort of a light press, forcing them up, trying to trap somebody once they get into the zone. Vaca throws it in. Nice play. Vaca to Bueno. Sabres are unable to connect. A lot of bodies flying all over the place, and they're going to call Chow for the foul. Schnitzer got knocked down. I thought he might have, who did that might have gotten called. Chow got the foul call. Sabres ball. 25-14. We're at 7:17 left in the third quarter. Here's play 2 again. Coach Vega. Bagayo. Sabas. Back to Sabas. There's Bueno. There's Borden. There's Bagayo. He's inside. He tries to get it inside to Sabas. Sabas saves it. Now we're back out to Bueno. Changing the play. Bagayo. Warriors are still in this is more of a 2-3. This is more of a 2-3 zone. Coach Vega's calling for the use of the wings. Here's Vaca on the right, back to the top. Mishandled by Sabas. Errant pass of his to Vaca is a turnover. Not a forced turnover, unforced turnover. Here's Ayu into Schnitzer. I think we're on the under on that one, don't you? Right now, closer to the under on that game. Schnitzer to Ayu, out to Molitao. He's going to take a shot. Nice shot. 2-point shot. Very good. Inside. Molitao altered the shot right there. We're back to Bueno, back out to Bagayo. Sabres got it in there. Tried to force the play, got their own rebound. They're going to reset out top. There's Borden on the right. Molitao's at the top. Nice shot by Bueno. Julius Bueno, the senior. 27-16, 11-point Warrior lead. Molitao's got it on the left. Abreu is in the game. Out to Schnitzer on the left. He drops it down to Molitao. 2-man game out here. Here's Schnitzer's shot. It's a little bit long. Abreu, with his height, is able to get the rebound. He goes in strong. Gets his own rebound. Bagayo tried to take the charge. No call. Allowed Abreu to get his own rebound and put in the lay-in. 29-16. Here comes the Sabers right down the middle. That's Sabas. He kicks it out. Ayu's length gets the steal. Let's see what he does. He goes up 2-on-1, is unable to get his layup. Kind of gets a hand on it to pass. Let's see if Ayu takes a three. Off the mark on that. Dukalo taps it to Molitao. Warriors are going to reset at the top. Ayu gets it again. He takes another three. In and out. Abreu gets the rebound. Here's Molitao. He fakes a shot, works it in, out to Schnitzer at the three-point line. Ayu is going to take a shot, I think, if it's the last thing he does, and make it. But Dukalo ends up with the ball on the left, and he makes a lay-in. Coach Vega wants a timeout. 31-16. Warriors were definitely getting the better of that interaction. Coach Vega wants his guys to sit down. Doesn't look happy. All right, so 4:23 left in the game. Both teams have one foul. We are working in a quiet gymnasium. Not too many fans here yet. We'll see if that picks up in the second half here and for the game, the rest of and for, of course, the girls' game. The Warriors have suited up tonight 12 guys, and they have basically played 8. Okay? They played 8 guys tonight. Suited 12, played 8. Coach Vega's letting his team have it right now. Here we go. The referees are calling for him. All right. Coach Vega is alerting his team to the need for better effort. All right, here we go. It's Sabres ball, too. Referees have been patient, letting them get out on the floor. That's Milliette taking the out-of-bounds play at the line. Haven't seen him yet. Sabres have 12 suited up as well. They've played about 10 of their 12. Milliette is sort of one of those guys they haven't played yet. Gallo does not get the roll. Nice effort. There's Dukalo coming down the right side. He kicks it into Molitao. He's at the elbow. He kicks it over to Ayu. He kicks it over to Abreu. Abreu goes down. Nice play. Nice passing, nice play. Abreu went down the back line on the right. There's Pagayo. Let's see if they try to take a shot. Nope. Work it out to Domingo at the top. Domingo back to Castro. Pagayo. Pagayo's all over the place. Pagayo plays a lot. This is Milliette. Shane Milliette. He's listed as a junior. I hope I'm saying that name correctly. Apologize if I'm not. Here's Butihi. He gets it over to Castro. Castro and Molitao battle it. Molitao took it out of his hand. Castro never got a shot off. Molitao ends up with the ball. Here come the Warriors. Schnitzers across the line. Over to Abreu on the right. He dumps it into Dukalo. He works out. He's turned it out to Schnitzer for 3. Off the mark. Sabres ball. Coach Vega is exhorting his team to run. He wants them to go. Domingo brought it up. They're in the half-court offense, however. Gallo and Domingo at the top. Domingo is listed as a junior. This is Butihi. Over to Domingo now on the right side. Domingo tries to work the back line, unable to. Here we go. That's Castro. Castro's fouled by Schnitzer. Coach Vega really wanted his team to run right there once they got that ball inbounds. Or shall I say, after they got that rebound. All right, here we go. Here's a very interesting substitution for the Warriors. Here comes number 25, Kaimi Kahalikai. He's the tallest player on the team. He's 6'7". It's the first we've seen him. He's in for Molitao. Kramer has also checked in. So we've got Ayu, Kramer, Abreu, Dukalo, Kahalikai. Kahalikai is a junior. He's a world history student. He gets the first rebound right over the top of Milliette. Here's Kramer. Kramer's brought the ball up quite a bit. Lost it. Thought he had a brew near the back line. Throws it away. Turnover. We're at 33-17. We're under 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. There's Domingo. Domingo was looking for the home run ball to Bueno. There's Bueno with it on the back line on the right. Out to Butihi. Back out to Domingo at the top. There's Milliette. Bueno with the shot. He's short. Abreu gets the rebound. Over to Ayu. Ayu's going to bring it up. Up to Ducalo quickly. We're going to bring it back to the half-court offense. Here's Ayu. Top to Kramer. Kahalikai's down low. Let's see if they try to get to him. Kahalikai. He tries to give and go with Abreu. Abreu gives it back to him. Nice play by Abreu. Sort of a little two-man game there. Abreu's got a big grin on his face right there for getting the assist. I thought Abreu would take the shot after Kahalikai passed it to him on the give and go. Give and go and give and go right there. Kahalikai comes up with the loose ball. Kramer to Ayu. Into Ducalo. Ducalo is fouled on his way to the layup on the right side. Looks like Milliette, we're going to get the call for that. 35-17. The Warriors have sort of maintained this double score lead. Here's Ducalo on the line. That's off the mark. All right, here comes number 34 for the Sabres. He's a freshman. He's their tallest kid. His name is Carlo Belandi. He's listed as a freshman, but he's their tallest player. It's the first time we've seen him in the game. Coach Vega's played every player now. Warriors have played 10 guys. According to my... Seems like we've got a problem here. Referee is, we saw this with the girls game a couple of weeks ago. One of the sort of volleyball court lines on the up here at the middle school is sort of confusing. It's right down there by the end line, the baseline. Sometimes we saw this in the girls game, and there's a confusion on those after score inbounds plays. Referees, in both the cases I've seen it happen, have tried to help the player, the student athlete, get it right rather than to call a turnover. So that's the second time I've seen that in this gym. Sabers went down and had a score right there. Kramer brought the ball up inside to Ducalo, into Kahalikai. My two Block 2 students I'm working with today, I think that's really funny that Kahalikai scores, because Kahalikai is in my Block 2 along with my two buddies here. Kahalikai got a nice simple layup right there, and then he just got called for a foul. I think I mentioned to you in the last broadcast, Kaimi Kahalikai is a baseball player by trade mostly. He's a pitcher. That's what he does. I saw him play last year on the courts at lunch recess one day. I was like, why does this kid not play basketball? So here he is. I think he's having a good time. Seems to enjoy himself. Seems to be having a good time. His teammates like him. He's a good kid. Son of Billy and Tanya Kahalikai. Younger brother of Corey Kahalikai. Kramer gets the steal. Domingo fouls him. He was trying to get it up to Abreu so the Warriors could run. 38-19. Again, the Warriors are doubling the score of the Sabres. We're under 10 seconds. Ayu's got to take a shot. He's short. Too late to get the rebounded play. All right, we're going to stay right here. The score is Warriors 38, Sabres 19 at the end of the third. Warriors have extended their lead from halftime. All right. One more quarter to go. Let's mention the crew. How about that? Let's mention the crew. Let's start with my director. Right, we're buddies, right? Isn't that what we say? I heard you told somebody that you and I are besties. I heard you told Mr. Ricard that. Is that right? So Leilani Veras is running the show, as usual, as well she should. She's excellent at it. So she's a junior. She's doing a great job. The guy who's running the soundboard, this is a really difficult job, is my man Lawrence Nakoa. As you may have heard me mention, those two are in my Block 2 World History class, along with Mr. Molitao and Mr. Kahekili. So this is kind of fun. So those are the ones running it. We don't have Bennett today. Who's our new camera person over there? What's her name? Kaimana? Kaimana what? Huh? Shefty. Oh, okay, I recognize that. Kaimana Shefty is running camera 2. What grade is Kaimana in? She's a sophomore. She's a 10th grader. Okay. First I've seen her. She's doing camera 2. So the camera behind the Sabers bench. Kaimana's running that. The fourth member of our crew is Kiai Souza. He's also a junior. He's going to be in my world history class next semester. Kiai Souza. All right, here we go. Good play by the Sabers. That's bueno. We're at 38-21. We're under 7 minutes in the fourth quarter. Here's Kahekili on the end line. He gets it over to Kramer. Pass goes off Kramer's shins and out of bounds. Sabres ball. It's going to be boarded under the net. Ducalo's in. Snitcher's back in. Molitao is back in. Warriors have stuck with this sort of semi-full court press, looking for a particular trap if they can get it. Sabres have done a good job breaking it. I mean, that's a really good job breaking it right there. That's bueno missing the layup, though. Got to be frustrating to break the press like that and miss a layup. Here's Kramer on the inside. He got a good pass from Schnitzer. Coach Vega is looking for the travel, but he's not going to get it. Nice play by Schnitzer on the pass. Imai Kramer with the basket. That puts him at 40. That puts the Warriors at 40. Here's Kramer for the three-point play. Kramer spelled with a K. Off the mark. Espagayo. Here we go. They're pushing the ball like Coach Vega wants. Gallo goes right to the top, but Schnitzer causes the charge. Coach Vega is not happy with that. Schnitzer's got a big grin on his face. Gym is starting to fill up a little bit. There's Ducalo. Sabres are pressing. Schnitzer's the best ball handler on the Warriors. They get him the ball a lot. There's a lot of good ball handlers. There's Molitao with a long shot. Too long. Ducalo gets the rebound, however. Back to Molitao on the elbow. Out to Kramer. He goes to baseline. He goes up. He's blocked by Vaca. They're going to call Vaca for the foul. I thought it was a clean play. Vaca's called for the foul. It's going to be 2 points. Nice move by Kramer on the left side, down the baseline. Looks quick. Kramer looks quick tonight. 40-21, 6:11 left. Should also mention another cameraman here tonight. His name is Vern Merrill. Coach Vern. Coach Vern is here, and we are very fortunate at this school to have Coach Vern here. Coach Vern Merrill knows Huddle, HUDL.com. Huddle.com is one of the great things of all time if you're a coach. It takes all of your plays, especially for sport like football, but certainly basketball as well. It takes all your plays and breaks them down and uploads it to a very easy place to take a look. Coaches can put together training training video, but by plays that they're good, by plays that are bad. Kids can make highlight videos of themselves. HUDL.com, and Coach Vern is the expert at huddle.com, and we're very fortunate at Kamehameha Schools Maui to have him here. He usually films football games, but he's here filming varsity boys basketball tonight as well. Okay, here comes the Sabers. Sabers try to get it up the right-hand sidelines, right in front of us, but Chow causes a foul. Sabers going to sub 5 for 5. Again, the Warriors are doubled the score. As they've continued to double the score, they've obviously increased their lead as they've done so. We're going to get another player in for the Warriors. This is Noah Kaliuavehi. He's going to be in here in a second. Sabres get up a shot. Duplo is going to able to get the rebound. Schnitzer. Sabres are really pressing, but Chow's on the long shot and he's able to lay it in. Nice play by Schnitzer. Kahiao Chow's a senior. So the Warriors do their own slight press. Domingo's able to work it. Kahekili Kai alters the shot by Castro. They get their own rebound, but are unable to convert. Kahekili Kai's goodness gracious, he's tall. Here's Kaliuavehi. Let's see who he's checking in for. He's in for Kramer. Noah Kaliuavehi, son of Chad, the beloved PE teacher here for many years at the high school. Former head coach of Kamehameha Schools Maui boys varsity basketball. Coach Chad's a great guy. Noah's a great kid. Leilani, did you know Noah is in my Block 3 World History class? You knew that. Okay, here we go. Here's another popular student at school, good athlete, excellent football player, Kanikoa Mailua Kakivi. He's in the game. Warriors have played 11 guys now. We are at 5:26, 44-21 Warriors. Warriors ball. Kaliuavehi's going to make the play from the baseline into Kahekili Kai. Oh, he gets fouled. So it would have been better if he would have caught it in midair and just put it up right away, but he came all the way down and got fouled on the way back up. Warriors are going to get their 12th player in. Kamakana Galan, 5'11 guard, junior. He's in for Schnitzer. So we'll see if Coach Peters lets some of these guys finish the game. Really only Chow is the person in there right now who plays a lot. Here's Kahekili Kai, next shot. It's a little bit long. That's the freshman for the Sabres that got the rebound, Belandi. Here's Domingo at the top. Chow's at the top. There's Galan marking. All right, so this is Miliet. That is, we're out to Domingo, back to Domingo. He's on the right. Is he going to go in there? He thought about it, but it came right back out. Timeout, Coach Vega. Okay, so this is going to be interesting to watch the end of this. Obviously, this is a very tight Warrior team. You can see that even though these subs are in and these guys were not playing very much, the starters are very into it, and they're very excited for their teammates. Still waiting for the return of Cade Kagasan, senior. He was injured earlier in the season, ankle injury. He is not suited up tonight. Let's see, does he have? I can't tell if Kagasan is suited up. His father's here tonight, another the first ever head coach of Kamehameha Schools boys varsity basketball. Cade Kagasan is not suited up. His father is here. Lance Kagasan, his father, is the Hope Po'o Mahele Luna. He is the principal of the upper division this year. Longtime employee here. Used to be a social studies teacher, was a high school vice principal. They seem to put Lance in all kinds of positions, so he's a busy man every year. Okay, here we go. We're back to play. We're under 5 minutes. Sabers get it across. They try to get it to. That was Butak. That's somebody we haven't seen yet. Kahekili Kai's got it. A little bit of scrambling here. They're going to let Noah Kaliurevehi bring it up. Looks like the Sabers have played everybody. Here's Kanikoa. Malua Kiwi. He tried to go up on the left side. He gets fouled. He's going to get to shoot some. They're not going to call it a shot. Kaliurevehi on the back line, on the baseline. Let's see the play. Gardner's in. Oh, Gardner zigged, and Kaliurevehi thought he was going to zag. Turnover. Kaliurevehi sent it right out of bounds. Sabres ball. A little bit choppy with both teams. Got some subs in, obviously. Both teams. This game is what it is. Time for the subs to get some PT. Guys like Domingo are still in there. This is another Domingo, number 21. It's the first we've seen him. They potentially could be brothers. This is Isaac Domingo. He's listed as a junior. Ivan Domingo is also. Ivan and Isaac. I'm guessing they're potentially twin brothers. We're under 4 minutes. There's Isaac. There's a shot by the Sabres, a little bit long. Kahekili Kai gets the rebound. That was Castro, I believe, that took that shot. Here's Galan with the ball at midcourt. Foul on Ivan Domingo. Full disclosure, Leilani, you might find this interesting. Kamakana Galan, grandmother, used to be my landlord. How about that? Isn't that interesting? She didn't hear me. It's interesting, though, Lawrence. Don't you think that's interesting? Timeout Warriors. Galan was on the line to shoot. Sabres are deep in the foul trouble. So Coach Vegas seems to have an experienced team. He seems a little bit frustrated tonight, trying to get him to do some basic stuff as far as bench protocols are concerned. Coach Vega, I've observed him for many years in MIL athletics. He's a standby. He's a standout. Dedicated to the students. We're very fortunate here on Maui. We have a lot of really good coaches at all these different schools that have spent a lot of time. Okay, we're about ready to get back into play here. All right, here we go. Referees are trying to get the Sabres out again. They're a little bit late getting on the court. Galan is at the line. Should also mention Coach Gilbert Silva is here tonight. Great Maui High coach, both football and basketball. Great defensive coordinator back in the day for the football team under Curtis Lee. Coach Silva's granddaughter is going to play in the girls' game for Maui High tonight. Coach Silva's fully retired. He looks great. I saw him before the game. We had a great chat. He looks terrific. He looks like he's in top shape. As top shape as I've ever seen. So good to see him. Gilbert Silva. Galan misses the second. 3:30. Castro throws it away as he drove looking for Domingo. Nice play by Domingo, taking the steal on Gardner. Gardner tries to get it back. Domingo, Ivan is going to dribble it out. He passes over to Isaac, over to Vaca. Castro, Domingo. They're going to call Kaliurevehi for a foul on Ivan Domingo. It's going to be on the end line. Warriors are not in the bonus yet. The Warriors are not in the bad bonus yet. Nice effort by Carlo Belandi. He got the ball, took 2 big steps, and tried to go up on the left side. He is their tallest player, and he's a freshman. He's probably got a lot of room to grow as well. Be interesting to watch him play for the next couple years. Very interesting spin on his. There's a very different looking spin on his free throw. Let's watch that again. It doesn't go end over end. It kind of spins sideways. That's very interesting. That one was short, out of bounds. It's going to be Warriors ball. Missed both. 45-21, 3:12 left. Sabers still working this sort of full court sort of effort trap. Vaca gets the steal on Kahekili, pass to Abreu. Sabers in the zone. They're going to take it back out. Ivan Domingo has stayed out there. They're going to call Galan for a foul on him. Still not yet shooting. We're under 3 minutes.
21 bonus for the Sabers.
Kahekili back in the game for Abreu. And really, I would sort of say these are the 5 players for the Warriors that play the least. So they're getting some valuable playing time here at the end of this game. Let's see if Coach Peters leaves them in the whole time. Coach Peters got a big grin on his face. First shot by Domingo is good. All right, another shot. Here's Gardner to Galan. See if they let Galan dribble it up. Okay, Galan makes a pass to Gardner. Gardner gets across the half line. See if they settle into their half-court offense. There's Kahekili on the left side. He loses the dribble. Balandi gets the steal. Here comes Ivan Domingo. Warriors a little rough right now. Here's Ivan Domingo for a 3. He nails it. 45-26, under 20. Under 2.5 minutes. Noah Kahekili gets it to Galan. Galan gets it to Gardner. They're across the line. Into Kahekili, but I believe that's Isaac Domingo gets the steal. That's up to. That was up to Castro, but he's unable to complete it. Here's nice play. That was classic. That was Mailua Kakivi. He came up the left side, sort of left a lob pass for Galan, and Galan put it in on the right side. Nice play by Kanikoa. Okay, Kanikoa's got a big grin on his face, as he is apt to be. Kahekili alters a shot by Vaca. Mailua Kakivi gets the rebound. Here's Kahekili up. Gardner, the top of the arc. Gardner drives in and lays it up. He takes a shot, misses, but he's fouled. Looks like they're going to call Balandi on the foul. We're at 1:30 left. Warriors up by 21. Timeout Sabers. Here we go. Okay. Looks like they're going to switch in 5 guys again. It's not the first time this has happened. Coach Vega likes switching 5 for 5. Full timeout. Okay. Once again, a reminder, when this game is over, we're going to cut the broadcast, but we're going to come back again for a second broadcast within half an hour for the girls' varsity game. The girls are hosting Maui High as well. Tonight is a return of Victor Aguirre, the head Vic, we like to call him up here. Vic is the former head coach of the girls' varsity team at Kamehameha. He is now the head coach at Maui High. You may know Vic if you're familiar with the Sparks Club basketball club downtown. Vic has been a long-time basketball coach. Vic is a former St. Anthony Trojan graduate. Full disclosure, he was my student when he was a sophomore in world history class way back in the day at St. Anthony. Taught he and his brother and his 2 sisters. His father, Danny. I'll talk more about that in the next game. Father Danny's here. I think I saw him already. So we know that the Maui High girls will be well prepared and well coached. Coach Lance Da Silva, the first-year coach of the Warriors, I think he's got his girls going. I'm going to tell you a little story. I observed their practice. Tell you what they did at practice, what the girls did at practice last. What day was that? I did that Wednesday, I believe. All right, here we go. We're back in action. 125. That was Butihi trying to go up. He was fouled, I believe, by. All right, 2 shots for the Sabers here. We're getting near the end. We're getting some, seems to be some more fans in here. A lot of people sort of waiting at the door. I think we've got quite a few contingent on the Maui High, quite a few Maui High fans. We hope some Maui High fans are listening to this broadcast as well. Butihi made the first shot. He makes the second shot. Warriors going to take it out of bounds. Kaliuvehi to Galan. They're going to try to trap Galan. He gets it up to Kaliuvehi. He gets it up to Mailua Kakivi. He goes and drives, puts up a shot, tries to put it up the same sort of way to Kahekili Kai. Kahekili Kai got his own rebound and put in a layup. Here's the Sabers. Here's Bagayo. Bagayo's played a lot tonight. Bagayo's played pretty well, I think, as well. Mailua Kakivi tried to take the charge, but gets called for the foul. They're going to clean up the floor here before we shoot. Bagayo, Jermaine Bagayo. Number 10, he's listed as a senior. He's played a lot, played well, as I mentioned. We're at 1:03 left in the game, 51-28 Warriors. Again, the Warriors have really sort of their 5 guys who play the least in the game right now. These are good times. Like I mentioned, Coach Peters looks very happy. He's got a grin on his face. Coaching on the bench. Kahekili Kai after the miss gets the rebound. Kaliuvehi, they're triple trapping him. He gets it up to Mailua Kakivi. He gets it to Galan. They really like this sort of lob pass to the rim. Galan was the beneficiary of one of those. And then Kahekili Kai was another beneficiary of it. So Galan tried it to Kahekili Kai that time. Mailua Kakivi was the one who was doing that at first. Kahekili Kai got fouled and is going to shoot. Borden has just fouled out of the game. Borden played a good game tonight. Patrick Borden, senior, number 25, listed as a forward center. He's sort of the player that plays the most consistent. He's their tallest player that plays most consistently. Kahekili Kai's next shot. In and out. Gaio gets the rebound. Here comes the Sabers. We're under a minute. Butihi, Bagayo. Bagayo goes to the lane. Kahekili Kai alters his shot. Gets the play. Here's Gardner. He gets it up to Kaliuvehi. He's going to pull it back out. Sabas knocks it out of bounds. DJ Sabas, also listed as a senior guard, number 32. Here's Kaliuvehi. He's going to get it into Galan. Let's see if Galan shoots. Here's Mailua Kakivi. He's going to go up for the right-handed attempt. Too strong. Mailua Kakivi, very exuberant in everything that's happening right now. Sabers knocked it out. Warriors ball. We're at 26 plus seconds. Into Gardner. He gets it out to Galan. Galan kicks it out to Kahekili Kai. He works the baseline. They're going to call him for the charge. Sabers ball. I believe that was Bueno. Julius Bueno, also a senior. Just over 20 seconds left. Gardner gets a steal. He almost gets a steal. Sabas kept it. It was a three-point shot missed by Tihi. That was Galan. Galan to Kaliuvehi. Let's see if he's got a clear path. They keep trying to get Kahalikai on the alley-oop, and they're unable to do so. All right, here we go. Julius Bueno went down, and the ball went in the basket, but it was too late. It didn't count. All right, so here we go. Final score. Warriors 51. Kamehameha Schools Maui Warriors 51. Maui High Sabers 29. I think Coach Peters has got to be very pleased with how his team has played. He got everybody in the game. Got some players in that don't normally play. I think he's got to be really pleased. Coach Vega's got some athletic guys. I think he wanted them to run a little bit more and to attack the rim a little bit more. Coach Vega was very active on the sidelines tonight. But good game, good effort, I thought, by both teams. Both teams obviously very well coached. So very enjoyable game. Good game for the Warriors. All right. Once again, I want to thank my crew, Leilani Veras, Lawrence Nakoa, Kiai Souza, and Kaimana Shefty. Good job, crew. I'm just here doing what I'm told. They run the show. They've done a great job tonight. So thank you to the students. Again, this is a student-led broadcast. This is Kauila Sports on Kamakakoa, on the Kamakakoa broadcast. We are going to leave and cut this broadcast off, and we are going to come back in less than half an hour for the girls' game on a separate simulcast broadcast on the Kamakakoa YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. If you're going to check out, thank you for being with us. Once again, my name is Kevin O'Brien. Thank you for joining us here at Kahekili Gymnasium for MIL Boys Basketball. We will see you for the later game. Aloha.